Notes on limiting reactants and s'mores. Okay, so some research was done several years ago by the federal government. And the federal government spent a few $100,000 on pickle research. Pickle research, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why they did, but it's in my book of useless information, which is totally verified and legit. So it's all true, and I think it has to do with the federal budget. And right now we have the federal budget with the shutdown looming, and I think that they need one more Republican vote. And a lot of times what happens is politicians will kind of trade a vote for a little favor. So they might say, I'll vote for your federal budget here if you can sponsor this, something in my hometown maybe. And politicians, they call that pork, because it fattens up the federal budget. And a lot of pork there. So I think that's what they did as far as the pickle research. And they did the same thing with s'mores. They came up with a recipe to make the perfect s'more. So they said you need 2 grams to make a perfect s'more, because you need a top and a bottom. All right. 1 piece of chocolate. They said you had to have, if you use the mini mallows, it's 5 mini marshmallows. And you will make 1 perfect s'more. Now, you might have your own recipe and how you like to do it, a little bit more, a little bit less chocolate or mallows. Someone even told me yesterday that they like a little peanut butter cup or peanut butter on it. Yeah. It kind of rocked my world when I heard that. Like I felt like I hadn't lived up to that point because I hadn't tried it yet. But so I'm going to give that a whirl someday. But the perfect s'more recipe, researched and verified, is what we have here. Now, I went out to the store and I thought, man, we got to make sure to have enough s'mores. That would be awkward and awful if there was like one person who didn't get s'mores, you know. So this is what I got. I got 100 grams. Okay, so here are my supplies that I have. I have 100 grams. Now, how could I figure out, or how many s'mores could I make from 100 grams? All right, 50, right? So how you would typically solve that, and that's usually pretty good. You know, you need 2 grams for every s'more, so we're dividing. If we're going to do this factor label style, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to find out how many s'mores I could make. If I'm going to put s'mores is what I want. I'm going to put the units of grams on the bottom. And what I want is on top, s'mores. And so there's going to be, for every 1 s'more, you need 2 grams, and that's how we get 50. Okay? Now, for s'mores, you also need mini mallows. And we got about a bag. We got about a bag per class. Okay? So each bag has about 300 mallows in it, those little guys. So how many s'mores could we make from our mini marshmallows? All right. Well, we'll put mallows on the bottom to figure this out, to cancel our units. And we're going to put s'mores on top, because those are the units that we want. And so for every 1 s'more, how many mini mallows do we need? We need 5, right, from our recipe. Nice job. So 300 divided by 50, or 5, excuse me, 60. Yeah, 300 divided by 5 gives me 60 there. Nice. So we're in good shape. There's 12 of us in here today, not including me, 12 students. And the chocolates. Now, I only have 11 chocolates. All right. And so how many s'mores could we make from the 11 chocolates? Let's see. So I'm going to put chocolates on the bottom, chocos, s'mores on top, just like our plan. And we said, for every 1 s'more, how many chocolates do we need according to our recipe? You need 1. So we can make, let's see, 11 times 1, divide by 1, carry the 1, and we're going to get 11. Okay. So there's 12 students in the class. There's 11 chocolates. How many s'mores could we make from these ingredients? 11. Give me a big raise hand. Tell me, why can I only make 11 s'mores? What do you think, Amanda?
Because if you went to make like 12 or more, then you wouldn't have chocolate on them.
Exactly right. Once we make 11 s'mores, for the 12th one, we're not going to have any chocolate. We're going to run out of chocolate, okay? And the chocolate is what a chemist would call a limiting reactant, okay? So limiting reactant, oh yeah, thanks very much, Scott. All right, so limiting reactant says there's two parts to it, okay? A limiting reactant gets used up first. It gets used up first, and as Amanda said, once we go and use up all of our chocolates in this case, we can no longer make any more s'mores. So it limits the amount of product that can be made. All right. So when we go to solve limiting reactant problems in the future, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take all of our ingredients and figure out how much product we can make. And once you figure out from each ingredient how much product that can be made, it's always going to be the smaller amount of product that can be made. Okay? So once you do your calculations, to know how much product you would make, smaller amount. Okay? And that's the way limiting reactants work.